Okay, I need to just separate her food. It is half defrosted right now. This is the part that I really don't like doing because I just hate dealing with half frozen stuff. Cutting this is a pain every single time. So after I have half of it cut, I'm going to wrap it up and put it back in the freezer. So what I just do is wrap this bad boy up, and then it will go back in the freezer. Okay, so now I put it in here, squeeze it out. This is actually probably like the worst way for me to prepare her food because I don't think it's good to have like your knife slightly banging against glass. But I'll just do that for this time and let's get her some food. It is about 10:30 p.m. and I spent most of my day playing Dota actually. I played 5 games. I lost all 5 games. That was sucked. Man, I don't get to play Dota much, and I guess I did have fun, but 5 losses is rough. No wins today. I feel like I've juggled everything pretty well today. I just played a lot of Dota. I walked Riley first thing in the morning, and it was super nice outside. And then watched my movie, Loving Vincent. And then right after that, I was like, definitely need to exercise today and do my stretches and use the foam roller, which I did. So I feel really good I just feel really good right now, I guess, because after exercising, I took a shower. I was pretty filthy. It was going on like 48 hours since I showered. So did that, and now I am here sitting on the couch getting ready to read more of my book. And I have my Hot Pocket. Man, I like having Hot Pockets around because they're a quick snack. They're not really a meal, they're a snack, but they're not a healthy snack. It's like eating a pizza because it's pepperoni pizza. But I like it. And then my book. Dun dun dun. Whenever me and her are on the couch, it feels like we are, you know, like friends of the opposite sex that sit on the opposite side of the couch. So it's not awkward and intimate. I know people know what I'm talking about when you have a friend of the opposite sex that you are not romantically linked with, and then when you sit on a couch and watch a movie together, what do, right? It's kind of awkward, a little bit. And that's my relationship with Riley. She sits at the far end, that's her side. And, you know, I have realized there's just so much stuff that I kind of keep with me. So I have my phone, and then here I have like her remote, I have my drink, and then usually I have my TV remote, which is over there. But when I'm sitting here, I tend to have like a lot of stuff all around me, and sometimes it just feels like it's too much. But yes, look, I actually did achieve half yesterday. This book is not actually very long. I think it's about not even 300 pages. It's like 290 or so. Yeah, like this is 285, so I do think this book is definitely a quick read. I mean, it's a memoir. It's not a Stephen King novel. I did order 2 more books today off Amazon, and they will be arriving Monday or Tuesday. So I'm not sure if I will have this book done by then, but that's the thing. Like, it's so weird because I like being competitive, and sometimes that competition is with myself. I was thinking it would be really cool if I read this book super quick, but that's not the point. The point of reading is just to read it when I have downtime and when I'm enjoying it. And plus, if I read books too fast, that means I have to buy books faster, and then that means I'm spending more money more frequently, and I can chill out a bit. Don't need to read this book in 1 day or 2 days. I just know that I bought a book that was kind of about murders with Native Americans. It is the #1 book for 2017 on Amazon. And then I did buy Beartown, which is something about hockey, and there's more to it, but a lot of these plots seem very basic, but maybe it's the same thing with the movie, because it's not even so much about the plot, it's what develops the characters and everything. So another book I was interested in was by Celeste NG. So her book is called like Little Fires Everywhere, and this is her second book. Her first book was actually pretty well received. So I think that will be the book that I buy third after I finish those next two. I still have a lot of interest in Stephen King. I think maybe I will consider trying out some Stephen King stuff, just because I did actually used to have a Stephen King phase when I was a teenager, and I would go to the library and try to read his books. I read The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon years ago, so I don't remember anything about that. I am kind of curious to read Cujo, just because I use Cujo as a joke sometimes in referring to like a scary animal outside my door. Like sometimes I would call like Milo acting like Cujo if he's kind of like trying to do some weird shit at the door. Like earlier I was exercising and he was honestly, sometimes Milo is so funny because he kind of just like hangs out at the doorway or like on the edge of the wall where his head is the only thing that sticks out, and it feels like it's in a very creepy sense, but it's funny because it's a cat. So when I take a shower, he's like nowhere to be seen, but then once I get out and I'm towel drying, he's like right behind the door frame. I don't really know how to explain it. Okay, so what I was talking about the other day, I want to show you guys. So sometimes I'm just taking a shower and hanging out in the bathroom, and then little do I know, someone's just hiding there. And I meant that I found it funny because it just feels like they're peeping on you, right? And it's a cat. So cats just do weird things, but normally his head is sticking out more into the doorway, so it comes off even more creepy when he does that. But I guess the fact that he's like completely not visible unless you walk out, I don't know which is more creepy, right? When the head is showing and when it's not, but I just managed to find some of his actions so comical. This is my reading setup. Since I have really terrible lighting in the living room, I have to sit right by that. And this is a pillow that I actually bought off Amazon for $50. I was preparing to have this be my main pillow because the one I have right now is really flat, which I don't mind. I actually think I like flatter pillows more because this one is so tall that it fucks with my neck. So this is like a garbage pillow that I couldn't return because I hung on to it too long. So I don't like this pillow at all. I still need to find a better pillow, but I just keep it here. And I like sitting propped up like this, so time to dive in. Okay, so I am going out soon to watch Molly's game. I guess I just felt like going out to see a movie. I believe this is Aaron Sorkin's directorial debut, so he probably wrote it as well. He's a very talented writer. He did The Social Network as well. So yeah, just want to see if it turns out to be a good movie. It's kind of long, actually. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes, and Jessica Chastain is the lead actress. Sunday afternoon, I don't want to be home all day, so just a quick trip out to watch a movie and then maybe get some food, and then need to come back and settle down for a new week of work. Oh, damn, I'm here like 25 minutes early. So I think after that one time I went to the movie theater and it was packed that I had to sit in the front row, I've been trying to get here earlier, but it actually sucks to get here early because if there's not a full theater and relatively scattered, then getting there exactly on time is not a big deal. In fact, I would rather get here 15 minutes after, because I don't like watching the trailers at all. I hate being forced to watch a shitty trailer like A Wrinkle in Time. That is the worst trailer in the world. I have watched it twice because it has been played in front of 2 of the movies I've seen, and it makes me so sad. It makes me feel very upset on the inside when I'm watching it. But on the other hand, it's actually pretty nice outside. It's 73 degrees-ish. But the reason I have my leather jacket on is because they tend to make these theaters so cold. And it is so unpleasant when it's so freezing when you're just trying to enjoy a movie. I couldn't dress for summertime because if I go inside an establishment, they have the AC blasting so hard that if I'm eating a meal or something, then I'm very cold if I'm wearing a short sleeve and shorts. Even though it's nice weather around here pretty much every single day, I don't manage to find many activities that I can do that keeps me outdoors for a long period of time. I did manage to walk Riley twice today, which I'm very happy about because it makes me happy to take her out to enjoy the weather. But even though it's 70 degrees, I think she probably does start getting hot if I make these walks too long, just because of physical exertion and the heat like building up or something like that. So can't walk her too long, but still managed to get her 2 before the daylight went away. And I've been waking up really late lately. I think I screwed up my sleeping because I was up until like 3 in the morning yesterday and I wasn't even feeling that tired. So I feel like I'm going to be sleeping late, or if I wanted to adjust it back, I need to make an effort. Let's see, what time is it? I've only burnt like 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna go and sit inside, I guess. Wait there. I just got out of the movie, and I'm probably going to discuss the movie when I get home, just because I, for some reason, tend to feel really rushed when I'm out and wanting to get home to Riley. I don't think that's a good thing because I don't take a lot of time to myself in terms of going out and just not being at home. I spend a lot of time with her, so I shouldn't be feeling rushed, you know? I should be enjoying the time that I'm out, and she hasn't really even been in there that long, maybe 3 hours, and she is capable of doing 8. So I rarely make her do 8, but let's move on really quick. You know, something that I started realizing maybe a few movie sessions ago is just that I really feel disoriented every time I come out of a movie. It's just that it's so dark in there. I never watch my movies in the dark. I hate the darkness. I like it bright. And so when you walk out, it just feels weird. Like every single time I walk out into the outdoors, I mean, today is a particularly really great night because it is still not even that cold. It's pretty warm out, but I just feel like I have to readjust to life. Maybe that's the whole point of watching in the dark, but sometimes it makes me feel really weird. But anyways, all right, I will head back. I picked up some food, salad and cookies, the usual, and I will talk about the movie once I'm there. Sometimes I think I really stress myself out unnecessarily, but basically I got home, I put on her e-collar, and then I started noticing that the fit would completely shift when she shook herself. Like normally you're supposed to put it on these 2 sides and you kind of just rotate between them every few hours. I just started noticing her walking around with it like in the middle, which basically means that it's shifting, which means it's too loose, and it kind of stressed me out a little bit because I think I am overthinking how tight it needs to be. And I definitely think it just originated with my mom because the first time that I showed it to her, she was like, oh my gosh, it's too tight. And then so I loosened it. And then the next time I went to my trainer in New Jersey, she was like, this is way too loose. And I guess what
what's really bothering me is that I hate that feeling of doubt. And I feel like I'm doubting myself when it comes to having the proper fit for her, because I am obsessing so hard about the contact points being too tight on her neck that I am like constantly checking to see how tight it is, and then it becomes really hard for me to gauge what is too tight and what isn't, because she has so much layer of fur that I think if it is on properly, it might seem too tight, but realistically, the contact points might just be making small amounts of pressure, but based on the way that the collar is sitting on like so many inches of fur, it might appear worrisome. So I guess I'll probably try asking a trainer that I'm familiar with or something like that. It's just, I've been doubting myself about collar fit for so long, and I don't know if I have necessarily fixed it in any way. And so I kind of just was in such a good mood, and then I got home and started really stressing out about this. And then while I was like typing a Facebook post to ask these dog people their advice, someone rang the doorbell. And so the thing is, I don't like to answer the door unless I know and expect somebody. So I had ordered my groceries online for delivery a couple hours ago for, I think I said it 8 to 9 p.m. But normally they send you text message updates and alerts for when they're coming. And so like I felt so bad because I was standing here on my phone for 5 to 10 minutes. And when I finally decided to go open the door, the guy was just standing there with my 2 grocery bags, and he only rang once. So sometimes I feel like maybe I'm overly paranoid or something, but last time I got a knock on the door or I got a doorbell ring, someone was trying to ask me to donate money for something, and I really, really don't like dealing with people like that. So I don't like to answer the door unless I'm expecting something. I guess a package is sometimes to be expected, but normally they text you if they're delivering my groceries. So okay, so I am settled on the couch, and it sucks having a flaw like this where you let yourself get so worked up about something. I think the main reason I get so worked up about collar fit is because I would be really upset if the fit was too tight for her and I said it that way. So that would just make me feel extremely bad, feel like a terrible parent, and I just overly worry about something like that. I think I've had collar fit issues for a while now. I brought her once to the dog training class with the trainer here in, near San Diego, and she told me that day that the fit was fine, but that was a while ago. That was on a different collar that I'm no longer using, but you know, sometimes I wonder if I should still be using that one, because I've been changing collars so much, and I am not entirely sure if the fit is right. Otherwise, I think if I really am super worked up about it, I might try to reach out to one of the trainers, namely her, and see if she could personally see to it and kind of maybe explain to me specifically what I should be looking for in terms of proper fit for a husky, because they have so much hair and makes it more difficult, or at least it gets in my head that it's difficult to find the right fit. The problem with all of this is dog trainers are so expensive. I feel like I'm in turmoil right now. But I guess the thing is, it was too loose before. Definitely too loose. She shouldn't be shaking. You know how dogs shake themselves? Their entire body, their head like goes like this. And it shouldn't be moving. If it's moving, that's not good either, because it means that it's like doing this on your skin. And that's not good if she's shaking several times a day. But okay,
I'll move on so I could hopefully not worry so much. I'm definitely not in as good of a mood as I was right after watching the movie. So I'll try to talk about it, but I'm not sure I have a very good response or review of the movie. So I will say that I do think I liked it. 2 hours and 20 minutes though, it did feel a little long. So while I was watching the movie, sorry, there's hair. So while I was watching the movie, I did feel like there were times towards the middle where I was losing a little bit of focus. The way that the movie is told is that it's told in current and past, and it keeps flip-flopping like that. And I do think that for a movie like this, it kind of makes sense to tell it that way. I'm not 100% sure that the way it's told, flip-flopping, is what caused me to kind of lose interest at times. So I can't say for sure. I do think the story was generally told pretty well. I'm not necessarily sure if you are supposed to like Molly as a character. I personally did not. I don't think I liked her very much. But I think it was also kind of easy to relate to her at times because she's kind of like a lonely character in the sense that you never see her having any friends. She spends all of her off time by herself. And you know what I was thinking that, and I think maybe I feel a little bit ashamed or disappointed that I feel this way, but I have noticed that when I see characters on screen that have similar traits as I do in terms of spending most of their free time by themselves, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I tend to feel bad for them, the slightest. And then once I notice that I feel bad for them, I kind of tell myself in my head, like, why the heck are you feeling bad? That is the lifestyle you currently lead, so don't feel bad. But I think it is maybe society influence that makes it my first reaction to seeing people spend a lot of their time alone as something I should be feeling bad about or something that I should not be feeling good about. I don't like that reaction that I have at all. So I am hoping that I can change something like that. Overall, I guess I feel like Aaron Sorkin is really good at just writing dialogue. I think that was a large reason a lot of people liked The Newsroom. He tends to write good banter. I'd say Molly's Game, I would say I liked it, but it's not next level in terms of loving the movie. I don't think it is a movie I would be interested in watching again. It did make me happy to see Idris Elba in a major role. I mean, he's not the lead, but he was kind of like the main supporting actor. Oh, and I thought of another reason why I decided to watch this movie, and it's because Kevin Costner's in it. And last year, I actually had a bit of a Kevin Costner phase where I wanted to watch all of his good movies. I think this was right after I rewatched Dances with Wolves, but there are a lot of his movies that I can't find, and it kind of sucks. But I watched Bull Durham, and it's kind of... It's so weird to me that I am appreciating Kevin Costner so late because honestly, it sucks. My first exposure to him was in Rumor Has It, which is a terrible movie he did with Jennifer Aniston. So that was the first time I ever saw him. So that's why I initially had the wrong idea that he was some nobody. But he is a somebody. He is a really good somebody. So I really, really liked seeing Kevin Costner in this movie. Yeah, I guess that's really just my review. It's not a glowing one, but I do think it manages to be entertaining, which is good enough. That's more than I can say about all of the superhero movies that are coming out. And, I'm actually really happy Jodie Foster is on my side. I read something last week or the week before where she basically called them like going to the theme park, and she was kind of talking about how she doesn't like how the studios keep churning out these movies because it is probably affecting what the large majority of people start expecting from Hollywood or movies. I'm not 100% sure that's what she said. I'm kind of paraphrasing based on what I remember from reading it, but I agree completely. And sometimes I honestly feel nervous to say it because every freaking person that you talk to acts like they're the best movies out there. So I feel like if I disagree in public, then people are going to be angry at me. I am happy that I do still have a large part of my night left over, so I'm going to take that opportunity to try to worry less about all of this dog business, eat, and read some books. So I will close out Sunday night. Hope everybody had a really great weekend. I actually really enjoyed the last few days, so I'm a little bummed to be going back to work. Trying not to feel too negative about working with the people there because I don't really like my coworkers, namely the ones that I'm doing certain projects with, but I tend to succumb to my dislike of people, and that makes the experience worse when I'm collaborating with them. So I think I need to go into this week with a better mindset in terms of if I don't like a person, who cares? Just get over it and get it done and not think negative. Because I thought of this idea when I was watching Mad Max because I remember reading that Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy didn't get along on set. I was thinking these people make millions of dollars and they still have situations where they're working on a movie with somebody they really don't get along with. And I was like, normally when you think of people that have that much money, you would like to think that they don't have the same conflicts as regular people, but they do. They have the same conflicts and they have to get over those differences to make a movie. And the movie turned out to be awesome. So if she can get over working and not getting along with Tom Hardy, then I can get along with this fucking guy and just move on with my life. I feel good about saying that.